How's it going? Friday, January 17th, 2025. Al Simmons, Hall of Fame. 20-year career, 2,215 games, 2,927 hits, an average of 1.32 hits per game played, the ratio. 334 career batting average. 1,828 RBIs. That's very good. He was an RBI producer. 307 homers. Not really a 500 homer slugger, but 307 is fair enough. Career. His first 6 years have been superb. He's playing a lot of games. 6 years in a row, over 300 batting average. 6 years in a row, over 100 RBIs. He has three 100 RBI, 100 runs scored seasons, and he has two 200 hit seasons and one other 199 hits in a season. This video, the 1930 season. How did he do? 138 games. So he missed 16 games. Gets 554 at bats. I like that. Got to have 500 or more. 152 runs scored. What? In 138 games, he scored 152 runs, more than a run scored per game. All I ask for is 100 runs scored in a season to be successful. He goes 152. Woo. 211 hits, back-to-back 200 hit seasons. The year before, 212. He comes back, plays 5 less games, and gets 211 hits. 41 doubles, 16 triples, 36 home runs. Not bad. Back-to-back 30-plus home run seasons. That's his career high, 36. Listen to this stat. I couldn't believe it. In 1930, Al Simmons, 165 runs batted in. Now that has to be top 10 all time. Let me look that up. You go to Baseball Reference. Career runs batted in. Yeah, RBI leaders. Let's see where that 165 ranks as far as top 10 all time. Let's see. If you go to there and then you look at single season, we do know that Hank Wilson had a year, 191 RBIs. Lou Gehrig, 185. Hank Greenberg, 184. Jimmy Fox, 175. Lou Gehrig, 173 and 173. Back-to-back. Wow, or 2 in a row. Chuck Klein had 170. Jimmy Fox had 169. Hank Greenberg again, 168. Babe Ruth got in there, 168. Joe DiMaggio, 167. Lou Gehrig, 166. So Sam Thompson. Manny Ramirez, new school, in the new school era, 165. And you got Babe Ruth and Al Simmons at 165. So Al Simmons is in the top 15 greatest RBI seasons of all time. You know, the year before he had 157. So he says, hey, I'll come back the next year and get 165. All I ask is 100 RBIs in a season. 9 stolen bases, 39 walks. I like this stat. 1930. He bats .381. That's the third time over 380 in a 7-year period. This guy doesn't just do 300 batting average. 381. 211 hits and 554 at bats gives you 381. 423 on base. How about this stat? I didn't realize this. If you're a slugger, your goal is to slug 500 in a season. Half the time you're slugging. 1930, Al Simmons goes 708. Of course, we know the record. What is the record for slugging in one season? The highest slugging season of all time goes to Babe Ruth, I believe. If I look it up, I don't know the exact number on the slugging, but if you go to Babe Ruth, very easy, you just type them in. What was the highest slugging he had? Yep. In 1920, Babe Ruth slugged 847. Then the following year, he slugged 846. I mean, Ruth is in another stratosphere. 800 slugging. It's 847, but they say that Barry Bonds had a year. Let's look at Barry Bonds, because he was a slugger. Did he surpass slugging in 1 year? Well, they say in that 2001, Barry Bonds slugged 863. That was the year he hit 73 home runs. Do you want to take that on face value, that 73 home run season? Everybody's been questioning it. And the reason why they're questioning is because of performance enhancing supplements or drugs or steroids or whatever you want to call it. That's the question. Now, is the 863 a genuine stat for that year? I don't know. But there is one thing I do know. Because Barry Bonds retired in 2007, and there's a 5-year period, right, before you can get elected to the Hall of Fame. So if there's no question on the supplements or the performance-enhancing drugs, then in 2012, Barry Bonds would have been elected to the Hall of Fame with more than 70% of the vote, right? What's the year now? It's 2025. So 2012 to 2025 is 13 years, right? Why isn't Barry Bonds in the Baseball Hall of Fame? That's the question. So if you're questioning his eligibility to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame, he's already past the 5-year mark, right? 2007, he retired. So by 2012, he's eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame, 5 years. It's been 13 years, and he hasn't been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He had 762 career home runs. He had 2,935 hits. He had 1,996 RBIs. That's all Hall of Fame numbers. Yet, he's not in. So, to me, the greatest slugging season of all time goes to the Bambino, 847. And then he goes 846 back to back. Bonds had the 863. He also had an 812. So Bonds has 2 800 slugging seasons. But I'm going to go with the Babe. But how about this? 1930, Al Simmons goes 708 slugging. And then he gets 392 total bases. Again, falling short of that magical 400 number. But it is his fourth time 300 or more total bases. So what a year. He goes 5 for 5 in those categories I like. 100 runs scored, 200 hits, 100 RBIs, 300 more total or batting average, and 300 or more total bases. He goes 5 for 5. And that becomes the third time 5 for 5 in those categories. Third time he's done that. 100 plus in the runs scored, 200 hits, 100 RBIs plus, 300 batting average plus, and 300 total bases plus. Third time he's done it. Of course, the record holder for going 5 for 5 in those categories in the same season, Lou Gehrig, 8 times 5 for 5. So 1930 season, magnificent is the word for Al Simmons. This guy, he not only hit 211 hits, not only can score runs, 152, not only can have RBIs, like 165, and then the bat 381. You know, he never batted 400 in a season, but he got close. He had a 392, and then I'm looking down, he had a 390. This guy could play and hit and produce the runs scored and the RBIs so far. So his first 7 years, incredible. Al Simmons. All right, that's 1930. Next video, 1931. This guy is a very curious baseball player in history. I didn't know too much about him. I haven't read his biography. I've read about him in baseball books, and I've heard of him. And when you look at the Baseball Hall of Fame class, he's in there. What a player. Talk to you later. 1931 season next. I'm out.